Alright guys, so we've probably seen a lot of these buzz lately about bolt.new, and yes, you can really build apps without any technical knowledge, without knowing how to write a single line of code. And no, you won't build this in 5 minutes. It will take you some skill, but in this video I will try to approach app building with AI from a little bit different perspective. This video is not going to show you how to do it in 5 minutes, but how to prepare your projects accordingly so that you have something, you have a good foundation to start projects the right way and prevent yourself from losing a lot of the credits. Because me myself, I've learned my lessons. I've learned lessons from Reddit community. I spent millions of tokens on bolt.new, basically getting nowhere. Eventually I built a couple of cool apps, and I'm going to show you how to build another. It might get a bit longer, but don't worry, it's gonna provide you with a lot of value. So let's dive into it. So what are we doing in this first phase of this video? We're going to write a PRD using a simple prompt using ChatGPT just to make it simpler for us. We're gonna get into design inspirations, giving design references for balls so we follow a nice design. And lastly, all of the logic backend rules that should be set in the first place. All of the different stuff about database, we should do it in the first place. So we're gonna consider that in the first step, and then we're going to development with Bolt and let's just see what we got from there. Right, but how can we build an app if we still don't have an idea for the app? Well, that's pretty simple. I imagine you have plenty of ideas, but for the purpose of this video, we're gonna build something like school.com. Just in case you don't know what school.com is, it's basically a community platform where for $100 you can start your own community. You can charge community members for memberships, $50, $100. There's no free alternative. So you know what, let's build it. We have the step 1, and we are going to describe the website or app you're trying to build with great detail. Let's try to build this. So basically ask DeepSeek to describe an app that will be a copy of school.com, but is free to start any community. Invite people there, create classes, and create a forum discussion. And guys, look at this. We have core features. So this is important stuff, right? You want to consider the core features. And here it just describes all of that stuff. My first recommendation is mobin.com. Honestly, guys, this is one of the most professional libraries that I have seen. And what we can do here is just click on Explore, go to Web. So we have some pretty cool designs right here, but I think this one is cool. What we can do now is just copy this screen, but we might do it later. We can also go to Dribble, for example. Just go there for some design inspiration, and we see a lot of cool designs. And we can go to Google Fonts, browse fonts. It will be very easy to then just use Google Fonts API just to use any font that you like. So I would stick to Google Fonts. So basically go for Grotesque. Yeah, maybe something like that. Let's see what happens here. I feel like Space Grotesque is kind of unique. So we can just copy this name for later. But this is step 1, guys, right? All right, guys. So now as we have everything, we have our font selected, we have design inspiration, we have an idea for our apps. We'll just go to DeepSeek, and here's our prompt that I just written for you guys. I think I'll include a comment below this video so you can just copy this prompt. But basically what we got here, you're tasked with creating a comprehensive product requirements document, PRD, for a new project. This document will serve as a guide for the entire development process, including front-end and back-end specifications, core features, and a phased implementation plan, right? So this is something very important, guys. So we're not going to develop entire application with a single prompt. This is not really possible. So we'll phase out some features, and let's start with project description. So like we said before, the app as something like school is a free community-driven platform. You can access educational content, upload the courses, and the users can join to multiple communities. This is basically the core features that we describe to something like DeepSeek. You can use ChatGPT, you can use Cloud, you can use whatever, right? So it uses this description as input to write PRD document. We'll have project overview, we'll have core features, we'll have front-end specifications, back-end, and I will just divide the development process into 3 distinct phases. This is just the format that we should use, and we have to ensure that it's comprehensive, clear, and provides sufficient detail to guide the entire development process. We can use DeepThink. Let's see if that works. If not, we'll just go to ChatGPT and use their model. But I think it's working. So let's see what we come up with. Okay guys, so now I think we have something pretty cool to get started with. We got this basic outline of what the project is, and this is very good. As you can see, not everything is as I would love it to be. So there's this priority medium stuff that we didn't really need it. Okay guys, so what we will do is just take and copy this text. We'll go to ChatGPT. So what I said here, just clean it up, break down the development into 3 stages, ensure that we are laying good foundation for the initial development phase that will support the next phases. So let's hit enter. And we have a pretty nice and clean overview of the project. Hope it's not going to be too much to handle in the first place for Bolt. So one thing to keep in mind, guys, we have to very selectively pass information to Bolt and give very thoughtful instructions to Bolt. Just be very selective in the kind of information that you're passing to Bolt, right? So we have the project overview. That's good. So what I will do is just start crafting the initial prompt for Bolt, right? I will go back to DeepSeek. The first thing we got is this. Here's what we passed to Bolt initially, then I go back to PRD document. We can skip the target audience, it doesn't really matter. The core features stuff will definitely get there, right? So we can just delete the priority because it's not necessary here. Notifications, we don't really want any notifications. That's something we can add later. Search, we don't need search. We don't need any priorities. So these core features I think are good. Authentication is something that we'll do later. All we have to do is just community creation and management. Users create communities, invite members, assign moderators, and customize the rules. Courses, upload and management, community discussion board, user profiles and progress tracking, public profiles with course progress, badges, and discussion history. So we can add, let's say, course progress. We don't need this. So anything that you don't like, just delete it. So now we get the front end. Any information that you don't understand, just delete it. So basic stuff like responsive design, of course, Bolt does that by default, so no need to add this. Additionally, keep screens. That's actually something that we're going to keep. Homepage, that's absolutely something that we want to look for. Now in the design guidelines, we'll say get inspired by the attached screenshot and base all UI components on the style and the screenshot. Use space grotesque font family from Google Fonts. Should work that way. We can delete the authentication, we'll do that later. I'll just give everything to Bolt now, including phase 1 and from the implementation plan, and I'll go to this nice screenshot that we found on Mobbin. I'll just attach it here, so just Ctrl V, and I think we're good to go and try what we get from it. Now Bolt will start developing the app. So as you can see, this is initial generation of what Bolt gave us. I think the design is looking pretty cool. Of course, it's not as detailed as this one, but guys, look at this. This is looking really good. Of course, not everything is clickable, and yeah, you know, it's not perfect, but since we have the first generation and we have a first prototype of the app, regardless of it being practically useless, now the fun part begins and we are ready to start iterating upon our first generation, right? So now we are ready finally to start building the features. So the first feature we have is building or creating community as a community creator. So now I'm just writing a simple prompt. It might look a bit long, but trust me guys, it's worth to spend a little bit more time on writing a good prompt and just describing clearly what the process of adding this community looks like, right? And one thing that I always try to do is ask Bolt for asking for additional clarification or suggestions. So he gave me like some questions and I answered them very quickly, and it allowed me to just get a better results from the code generation. So that saves a lot of credits. And now I'm just like creating the new community, testing how that works. And luckily it's possible to create the communities now, but as you saw, there's like nothing appearing when I create a new community, right? Cool, now we'll be adding another feature, discovering new communities. As you see, I'm not trying to make it perfect at the first place, but I'm just trying to build as many screens as possible. And you see there's this screen where we can find already the community that we've created, but there are some issues with the layout. Of course, they will always appear there, but we can simply give Bolt some instructions how to fix that, and as you can see, it looks much better now. So we have a list of communities you can add, you can join this community, and another feature number 3, community screen, because when we created this community, we basically had nothing in there. So now we're just giving clear instructions of what we want in this, right? And yes, there will be some errors, and that's sometimes when you try to add new screens to the app, you know, you end up with plugin errors, but Bolt can easily deal with them, luckily. And still, it's not looking perfect, but just by following the process like I showed you now, you can get closer to your like desired application. Okay guys, so we are coming to the end of this video, and there are still a few things I want you to remember when you're building with Bolt. So let's just recap. First of all, let's take your time and really prepare the requirements for your projects. Describe logically all of the requirements, all of the instructions clearly for Bolt so that it knows what kind of project you want to build. Firstly, whenever you start building, think of the design system, think of like the design inspiration. Maybe it doesn't matter for you, but you know, just finding a screenshot of something that you like is super simple. Giving some kind of direction is always helpful. You can use Mobbin, you can use Durable. These sites will give you inspiration fast. And once you have the design inspiration, try to build as many clickable screens as possible. So you won't have like 4 features in your app. Just build the front end first. Build the screens step by step like I did in the video. But I went step by step and designed each feature with AI step by step. So you can try to do it all at once, but most likely they're gonna fail. So let's just try to take one step at a time. And then when you have your app that works, that is functioning, you can then go and integrate with Supabase or with any other database that works for you. Supabase will be the easiest because it has the direct integration. What you're gonna do next is add authentication. Try to connect all of the backend with the front end using a Supabase integration, and then you're ready to basically deploy your application. I'm not gonna show you how I do it in this video, but you have plenty of videos from Bolt, from other people who just show you how very simple that is by connecting with Supabase integration. Hope you liked this video. If you want more of it, if you want me to continue building this up, or maybe you have an idea for an app that you want to build yourself, let's just comment down below. What are your thoughts on this video? Do you like the format or not? And without further ado, thanks for watching. Peace.